Let's close by asking our reporters to share a little something from their notebooks to help keep you ahead of the curve on big political news. Michael?
So here's something to think about. The president is on vacation up in Bedminster and might think that that means that he doesn't have to do a lot this summer. But August has always been a sort of curse for presidents. President Obama had the Tea Party town halls in August. He had the Syria chemical attacks in 2013. In 2014, ISIS beheaded an American journalist. And then the Ferguson riots happened. President Bush, of course, dealt with Hurricane Katrina in August. And so we don't know what's going to happen, but the president might be good to not think he can relax the entire summer.
That's very good advice. I was with President Bush in Crawford, Texas, when Katrina was coming, and boy, did nobody expect that. Yeah. Julie?
Well, we've talked a lot about how Donald Trump is going to be trying to shore up his base a lot more. One other thing that the White House has started to talk about very tentatively, and things are still early, but is the fact that they might have to start courting some red state Democrats to help them on tax reform, tax cuts potentially, and other key votes this fall. As we know, his agenda has been stalled. They've had trouble getting to 50 among Republicans. Mitch McConnell acknowledged that. And so increasingly there's a knowledge that he is going to have to go after some of these Democrats in states that Donald Trump won in 2016, in Montana and Indiana, in places like that, if he's going to even get close to a vote on tax reform. And so we may see him starting to travel to some of those places and target those senators by name as soon as this month.
Well, that would be nice, bipartisanship, you know. And if there's an issue where you could see bipartisanship, tax reform in those states, that's fascinating. Karin?
Before we even get to bipartisanship, there's the question of what the GOP is going to be doing now. Congress is on recess. Everybody goes home. Now, a lot of Republicans are going to be avoiding town halls this August, which is not normal, but it's pretty difficult to get through an entire month off without at least doing a radio interview or some sort of interview. There's going to be some interaction with their constituents, and what's going to be interesting to see is, do they stand with Trump, or do they start to distance themselves from him? Because this would be the moment at which we would start to see that happening. Over the July 4th recess, that was when Susan Collins heard all that "Go, Susan, go" stuff, and she never came back to the fold on health care. Now, granted, there's people like her who might, you know, the moderates who might not join the party, but we saw Tom Tillis this week come out and say, I'm going to back a bill that would actually prevent the president from ordering the special counsel to be fired without judicial review. So there's other people that were not the usual suspects that seem to be separating themselves a little bit. Does that continue? Is it broader as they go home? Because that's when we'll start to see what happens, and that has major implications for the fall.
It sure does. Fascinating. Perry?
So never say never, but it seems like in terms of Congress, the Obamacare fight is over for now. That said, there's a lot of things that are happening in the administration, and they have to decide if they want to keep Obamacare going or to take steps in which it would not help implement the law. So over this next month and a half, it'll be curious to watch how Tom Price handle various decisions on the Obamacare exchanges and on the law overall, and how insurance companies react to that. Because ultimately, a lot of insurance companies are nervous right now and sort of withdrawing from Obamacare, and it'll be curious to see if the president says basically let the law fail, or if he now works to execute it and to implement it and make it work better.
Which is really dangerous, because letting the law fail means letting people get really, really hurt with regard to the thing that matters most, which is their health care.